Hello there guys, Feng here, and welcome to Folktale. Okie dokie then. So Folktale is a city building RPG strategy game by Games Foundry. Now, the game has had a few hiccups in the past. It was one of the very first games to have entered early access, and when it did enter early access, it wasn't exactly in the best playable state. There was no ways to save, and all there was basically was a tutorial. I was actually put off by that, and I didn't actually get it until the Christmas sales. But I can safely say that it's a lot more enjoyable than what it probably would have been when it first hit early access. And this is actually what I've been playing for the past couple of days. So we're going to crack on with some... we'll probably just play some sandbox. Bear in mind as well, of course, it is early access, so there is going to be bugs, there's going to be glitches, and there's also going to be incomplete content. So please bear that in mind. So settings, actually got quite a nice amount of settings options here. Bearing in mind it is, isometric strategy game, so you don't really need all that many graphic options. But majority of the stuff I've put on medium because I want to. We've got sounds. Actually, got separate audio sliders for everything as well, which is really cool. The background music is actually really nice as well, but obviously because of YouTube being YouTube, gotta mute it. Sorry about that. But other than that, everything else is fine, and we've also got gameplay. You can, I love this, the best one, edge of screen scrolling. You're always going to the edge of the screens, from what I noticed in this game, so having that disabled is a must, to be honest. And you've got separate sensitivities for everything else as well, which is really, really nice. Okay, then, let's crack into the actual game itself. We are playing the experimental build, because that gets updated a lot more than the main branch, so we're going to go ahead and click on sandbox. Applying bandits to the codec, was that? Working? No, just kidding. Yes, loading screen doesn't take itself very seriously, does it? Okay, so we've got three different places we can go to. The human city, which is supposedly easy. Stinking swamp, which is medium, or howling tundra, which is hard. What I found about this game is that the game is actually kind of unforgiving to start off with, very unforgiving. You've got to try and meet certain requirements before a certain time, and yeah, it's actually quite hard. I think I've only ever done it once, to be quite honest. We'll see why as we crack on. So we're just going to go stick with easy for the time being. It's just to show you the game really, so we'll just go on easy. Okie dokie then. There's no pause button either. Well, there is technically, but you can't exactly, do stuff while it's paused, so it's real time. Before we actually do crack on with that, let's actually talk about the UI. So the UI, I actually really love this UI. It's just out the way. It's so fantastic. So as you can see, we've got the amount of villagers that we have. We've also got our culture. Culture is used to gauge what certain needs are needed. We'll see why in a second. We've got the amount of gold we have, the amount of wood, the amount of stone and iron. There is some stuff that's missing from here. I would like to see firewood and stuff like that. So there is some UI elements that's missing, and some are actually quite implemented yet. I don't think this one is exactly implemented yet. The salmon steak. It does count up when you actually gather it, but I don't think people can actually eat that raw. I think you need to actually bake that into a pie. So these are finished goods, as you can see. We've got clothing. Villagers won't need that straight away, but they will need it, a bit later on down the line. We've got bread, meat pies, salmon steak, I've already talked about, carrots, and beer. Probably most of my failures have come from the making of beer. It's very difficult to get up and running straight off the bat. So that's one thing we're going to try and sort out as soon as possible. You've also started off with a main hero. Now, I haven't actually had my hero die yet, so I have no idea if the game ends when your hero dies or whatnot, so I have no idea. But the hero has a lot of health, a lot of damage, and has got quite a few nice activated abilities, which will go through a little bit later. So first off, what we're going to need to do is we need to go ahead and construct a supply wagon. This is basically a storage hut for everyone. So we're going to get 2 villagers to go ahead and focus on cutting wood. I'm going to get 1 villager focus on harvesting berries and 1 to get some stone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a steady supply of wood. So the first thing we need to do is need to go to basic buildings. This is actually really, I love how this is set out as well. It's really nice. It's so easy. You just overall the stuff and it tells you what you need. So as you can see, we're going to need 25 planks. So we're going to have to wait a bit until we get those planks. One of the negative things I do have to say about it is that there's no fast forward button, so the early game can be very sluggish to start off with. But you know, I suppose that's one of the things of in a real time, you know, a strategy game, isn't it? So yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Sir Gregory just to come and check over here. I know there's a few things over here that need checking while they are gathering the wood. There's a graveyard over here, and we're going to investigate.
We shall engage!
And we'll engage, as he says. And as you can see, we're absolutely caning him. So, there is loot. You do get loot from dead bodies and stuff. As you can see, we've actually got some nice stuff there. Some nice leather stuff. Now, each hero... I think there's only 1 hero so far, and that's Sir Gregory. I could be wrong. I haven't really played that much of the campaign. I've only really been doing... when you've been doing sandboxes, but each character has their own separate stats and whatnot. As you can see, Sir Gregory is level 2. We're going to go ahead and pump into strength since that's his main stat, and they also have separate item slots. So if we go to our inventory, we can go ahead and equip that and that. We've also got common cloth, but that's not equipable. That's just for general use. We've now got enough wood, so let's go ahead and build a hut. So the way it is you've got to try and place it in a way where it can cover as many trees as possible. One of the good things about the hut though is that it will try to replant as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can build it. There's a lot of trees there. There we go. So what will happen now is one of these normal villagers will go ahead and build the woodcutter hut. Well, at least try to. There we go. Actually, all 4 of them might have. Yeah, they are. So that's fine. It doesn't usually take too long to build stuff, as you'll soon see. But once it's built, we have to assign a certain amount of villagers to actually, you know, inherit that job. And once they actually inherit that job, then they actually get better at doing it as they actually get more experience in that job. Pretty cool. So what we need to do now is you can do it 2 ways. You can either just click that, or you can select a worker, you know, separately and have them just go there. So we're going to go ahead and train 2 woodcutters. There we go. So with that in mind, we need to make sure that that one's still doing stone and that one's gathering berries. Busy. There we go. Now buildings can be upgraded, and there's also a lot of cool stuff like research and stuff like that. We've got the production tab here that tells you what the productivity is at the moment, what our base output is, and you can even assign what you want them to make in that particular building. So in this building, as you can see, we make 10 planks and 10 firewood. If we just wanted planks, say, we could get rid of the firewood and it'll make 20. I don't think you can actually alter that separately, so if I wanted 15 wood and 5 firewood, that would be ideal, really. Because obviously you need a bit more planks than you do firewood to start off with. But there's no way to actually do that at the moment, so that's a bit unfortunate. Hopefully they'll add that in the future. We've also got research. We're not going to touch too much on this, but as you can see, we could research sawmilling for 500 gold. It's going to take a while to actually research, but once it's researched, it will increase production of planks by 5. So you know they're pretty decent upgrades. You can also upgrade the actual building itself, which gives access to more research, gives access to more support for workers, and reduces fire risk by 50. I haven't actually come across that yet. I don't know if that's fully implemented. But there's also crafting as well, which is really cool. We can only craft firewood at the moment from the wood that we actually cut. And there's also equipment tab for the particular building what it uses. So yeah, pretty in-depth to start off with. So now what we need to do is we need to build a cottage. We need more workers. So really we need 2 of these, and I want to build them fairly close to the woodcutters. The main reason being is that cottages are going to need firewood, a steady supply of it. So having it close to there is just going to mean that there's less travel distance to get the firewood there and back. So that's fine. We're actually going a bit slow here. Our culture's steadily rising. That's not actually a good thing, by the way. When culture rises, once it gets to a certain point, then their needs are going to be they're going to want stuff like clothing and beer. So if we actually go to the civics tab, we can see here that it shows you all your things that you got, all your taxes and whatnot. You can actually assign rationing as well, so we could give only half food, but as you can see, it's going to make people really pissed off. So we'll keep it at 1. They don't actually want firewood yet. The main reason being I don't think it's because we haven't got a cottage yet. As soon as we built one, we should start having demand for it. If I'm correct. There we go. So if we look, yeah, now we're starting to get a demand for it, but we're also making them happy because we're supplying them with firewood. So that's good. We are going to need food as soon as possible, so we need to focus on probably a fishing hut would be. I don't know actually. Now we'll start off with a windmill. So we need the windmill to grind stuff like flour down so that we can make bread and stuff. I need to try and think of a good place. I mean, I don't really want it too close to the. I think we'll put it over here actually, possibly. No, I think here will be fine. We'll stick it there. Okay. We actually looks like we have another. Yeah, we've got another civilian now, so that's fine. I don't know if he's actually doing anything or not. Oh yeah, they're doing berries and stuff. That's fine. So once this gets built, we are going to need another cottage though. So I need to wait for some more wood. But I think before we do that, we have to make some farms. The farms actually do cost 25 planks to actually get running. So we are going to need 2 of these to start off with. So we'll get one there. And once we get enough wood, come on. I'm actually going to go ahead and assign another woodcutter.
Be right there, darling.
There we go. And then we'll go ahead and get another farm there. So one farm is going to be producing wheat, and one farm's going to be producing carrots. Now the main reason for this is kind of similar to Banished in this regard. The better the variety of food you have, the more happy your citizens are going to be. So, you know, it's wise to try and get a huge variety of foods as best as you can. Currently, I think there's only 4 lots of different food types. You've got fish, you've got bread, you've got carrots, and you've got meat pies. I'm assuming that maybe I could be wrong about the salmon steak not being fully implemented. It's very difficult because it doesn't explain it properly, if you get what I mean. So we need to train a farmer. That's for definite. So we've still got one person doing other stuff, but that's fine. As long as we're giving some carrots and growing them, then we're fine. But we do need our other worker to actually harvest berries, forage. We're definitely going to need another cottage as soon as possible. There we go. Let's get this cottage on the rib. Let me put it there. There we go. Now I think what I'll do
Standing
is
ready.
if we bring
Mine
Segregate
is
over
to
here.
obey.
Oh no. There's a mine over here that's got iron in, so we're going to need to get that as soon as possible. But it is guarded by the goblins. I suppose that's another main gripe I have about the game at the moment. It's not randomly generated, so maps are basically the same. Not a huge fan of that because, you know, it doesn't. It's the longevity of the game, isn't it? That's the problem. I would prefer it to have been random. Maybe they got plans to make Sandbox eventually random, But currently that's not the case. So yeah, I know exactly where enemies are going to be because I've played this map quite a few times already. So yeah, it's not particularly great in that respect, which has been unfortunate.
Ready for battle!
There should be some wolves down here, or warthogs. I actually can't remember which one they are. But this should level up Sir Gregory to 3. Here we go.
For honor!
We should also get some meat and leather off this, which we are going to need very soon. In fact, the next thing I want to try and build is the Hunter's Lodge, or whatever it's called. Yeah, the Hunting Lodge. Okie dokie. So Gregory can take quite a beating, as you can see. I'll show some of the activated abilities soon as well, and we'll
Quick march!
But for now, we're pretty good. So there we go. Production. A cottage was constructed. Fantastic. Okay, now we are going to need a bakery to bake this bread. So we need to go to the finished goods tab, and we are going to go ahead and build a bakery. I'm going to build it fairly close. I don't want to build it too close because I might want to make more farms. So if I build it here, that should be fine. Again, we're going to need to train someone. So hopefully we can get some more cottages, some more villages soon. Indeed. First proper video of 2016, guys. Woohoo! I am feeling a hell of a lot better as well. A hell of a lot better. Actually, well, this is actually the first morning I've woke up really happy and not in pain. So that's great. I'm going to go ahead and actually bump his vitality up so he's got quite a bit of health. There we go. Okie dokie, so that's still building. We should hopefully attract some more villagers soon. Come on, come on, come on. And I'm going to be rusty. Commentary is going to be rusty. As you can probably tell. So I do apologise if that's the case. But we're getting there, guys. I need to get back into it. And we are low on food. That was one of my major rules. Okay, so we've actually... yeah, that's brilliant. So I'm going to go ahead and get one into the bakery and one more farmer. Do you want to train that? No, that's not what I wanted. Really? There we go. Brilliant. So we've got one in the bakery and one more farming. So we should be okay for food. Sort of, possibly. It depends on the berries. It's a shame there's no berry tab. But if we look here, we can see that we've got 20 berries. Yeah, I don't think raw. Yeah, I don't think you can eat that raw. So the next thing we need to do is a hunting lodge. We desperately need that as soon as possible, but we've got no stone. So we're going to have to probably make a stone cutter's lodge, like so. So if we go ahead and plonk it there. There's actually a quarry here, so that's ideal because obviously I don't know if it's unlimited resources from quarries and mines, but I've never seen them deplete. So there could be a good chance that those are permanent, which is pretty cool. Okay, looks like we're getting some carrots in, or at least I'm growing. How cool is that? You can actually watch them as well, actually pick them and take them. That's pretty cool. There we go. Superb.
A building has been constructed.
So we are going to need a few stone cutters. Let's
Okay.
get 2. And then we're going to need a mine. But we still have a problem with food by the look of it. Are we making bread yet? No, we're not. We're not actually making wheat yet. That's worrying because we are running a bit low on berries and carrots now. Oh dear. Yeah, that'll be a great first video. My villagers leaving because of lack of food. That's just fantastic, isn't it? Blacksmith we are going to need probably next as well. So I think for the time being we're going to go ahead and build another cottage. And I think what I'm going to do is make sure my last 2... Yeah, you're already getting berries, that's fine. You're probably not. I want you to get berries as well. We need as much food as we can get. Especially now we're going to have more villagers. Is all actually called villages? I think they are. Population. I'm pretty sure they're villages. I'm just going to call them villages anyway. I'm just so used to calling them villages. So that's what we're going to call them. Bakery. Bakery's not making anything. You can lash. You can lash your villages as well to try and to get them to work faster, but it's generally not a good idea. You can also bribe them as well, but we haven't got enough. We haven't got a lot of gold as it is, so I'm not really concerned about doing that. Actually, is there anything else we could... Oh, there we go. We're actually getting a bit more food in now, so food is no longer too much of a problem. But we need that blacksmith as soon as possible. So it is just being a patient game at the moment.
You called.
Let's see if we can get anything else. So what we have to think about making soon is common clothes, basic clothing even. Sorry, that's what I meant. Basic clothing. We are going to need to grow cotton, have weavers, and a tailor for that. But for now, we're just looking at... I think there's usually a few bears around here. I just want to pick a fight with one, so that we can actually get some more leather sorted. Here we go, there's a bear there. Oh shit, there's two. There's two. Shit. Okay, now we should be able to handle this.
To victory!
Right, so we're going to go ahead and use iron skin. This will increase our armour, increase how much damage we can actually take. And then we're going to shield bash. That's going to do a decent lot of damage, and it's going to stun. There we go. Easy peasy. I probably should have waited to have done it on that one, but it doesn't matter. We should be okay. Oh, our supplies are actually going to be higher now. Did I kill the goblins up here? I think I did, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. There is more goblins up here. As you can see, there's actually campfire there. So we need to be careful with where we actually plonk this. So what I like to do is I like to plonk it just on the outside here. That's going to give us... still going to give us like a steel iron, but it's just out the way so that they can't get sniped. Where's my character gone? Ah, there you are. And there we go. Got a bit more leather, which is nice. So we'll crack on. I'm not going to go straight into there with Sir Gregory for the main reason that these goblins here are actually quite tough. So we're not going to do that just yet. Is that more citizens? Villagers? Yeah, I was right. Villagers, not citizens. I was right the first time. I'm a dum-dum. On the plus side, actually on the bad side, not the plus side, we do need more food. I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, let's try another farmer, and I'm going to go ahead and plant another farm. This one, probably still going to be wheat again, so at least we can make some more. But we're actually starting to make bread as well now, which is nice. And now we're going to need 2 miners. Like so. And that's going to give us a steady supply of iron now, which is fantastic. The blacksmith is where you actually craft a lot of your stuff, a lot of armour and weapons and stuff, and there's a lot of research to go into that. As you can see, there's absolutely tons. Absolutely tons. Some of the stuff don't quite work. At the moment, hardening isn't implemented yet, and neither is sharpening, but as you can see, swords and stuff like that are implemented, and oh, actually, that would be quite a nice one to get as well, the prospecting. But we haven't got enough gold yet. We need more cottages, really, and more villages. Alright, so the next thing we need to desperately get on with is the hunting lodge. We desperately need this as soon as possible. So, we're just waiting for stone at the moment. What's that with the villagers doing? You're getting firewood. I want stone. Let me see. So, Goon, hammer some more stone for me. If you will. You're foraging. You're doing something else. You're running over there. So, where's the other one then? Not doing anything, just buying berries. Go mine that one then. Desperate need stone as soon as possible, so. And Mr. Griggs.
Your orders.
Now, what I've noticed is I haven't really seen that many raids on the actual village yet. I've played this map about 3 or 4 times, and of all those, I've only had one instance where a spider has come from somewhere I've never seen it before, and it was in the middle of the village, just derping. it died very easily though, but it just derped. I don't know where it come from, so that was hilarious. Okay, looks like we're going up for the hunting lodge, so we'll crack on with that. I want to go ahead, and it's very difficult to actually place this because, as you can see, there's not really many places where you can get meat. So I think over here would be ideal, possibly. Yeah, we'll go here. There we go. It's going to probably take a while to build as well, but once that's built, we're going to go ahead and train 2 hunters. That's going to leave us with 2 villagers left, and we're going to have to probably build another cottage. In fact, I can probably go ahead and do that now. Yeah, I'll do that now. I'm thinking about it. There we go. How's that going on? It's still got a large radius, that's fine. You can actually increase that radius once you get the right research. I think there we go, expanded boundary, for example. So that's not too big of a deal. How is this going on? Okay, so we're making wheat. Are we actually making enough wheat to accommodate for this, or what? Well, we will be. So maybe a second baker would be a good idea. That'll mean we're gonna be okay with food then. I think that's a good idea, actually, so let's go with that. Second baker, and we should have enough bread to feed the village. Fantastic. It's just a case of getting this sorted now. It's taking a while. Yeah, I'm running now towards it. There we go. And we are getting a trickle of monies. We could actually raise taxes. We have got 3 varieties. What would that affect us? It'll only affect us a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and raise taxes so we can actually get more money. I believe you get money every 30 seconds. You get taxes every 30 seconds in game. So that's not in game real time. So that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we need 2 hunters. Hunters have a habit of dying though, because they like to go for bears when really they shouldn't. So, but yeah, that's just the way it is. They just love going for bears for some reason. God knows why. But the good thing about the hunting lodge is that it's going to give us a supply of meat and leather, and leather is something we desperately are going to need as soon as possible, so that we can actually build the tailor. Speaking of the tailor, we are getting to the culture point now where we need to start thinking about making the weaver's hut and stuff. So we need the weaver's hut, and that's going to allow us to... Why can't I make it? I need more stone. Oh, derp. We did make another cottage there, didn't we? Yeah, it's just being built now. We need more stone. Come on, stone cutters. Get your arse in gear.
Building completed.
We need 10 more. Come on. Come on. You know, you want to. Maybe I should have... No, I can't even assign anyone. You've always got to have one unskilled villager. You can't have... You can never have 0. Otherwise, no one will be able to construct anything. So yeah, only the unskilled villagers can actually construct, which is a bit weird, I must say. It would actually be nice if there was a building you could build that would actually, so you could actually build constructors. You know, you can train constructors so that they can build a bit faster and a bit more efficiently. That would be pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to build this quite far away because obviously I don't want it to overlap with anything, so I'm going to plonk it here. But now we're going to need cotton fields, so we're going to need about 2 of these, so I'm going to put them quite close. So I'll get 2 of these. There we go. Fantastic. We've also got a few more villages, which is great. But we are going to need a weaver. So we're going to go ahead and make a weaver hut. So we're going to need 2 of these. So I'm going to put them quite close. So I'll get 2 of these. There we go. Fantastic. We've also got a few more villages, which is great. But we are going to need a weaver. And I think for the Weaver's Hut, we do actually need... No, not the Weaver's Hut, sorry, the Tailor's Emporium. Yeah, we are going to need the 50 leather that I was talking about earlier on. And which are we... Okay, we've only got 17. That's actually quite low.
Your wish.
We might want to try and some more bears. Oh shit, what are you doing?
And so to battle!
Right. This is one of the other things as well. The game doesn't tell you when it tells you when you're in battle, as you can see. It's saying that, you know, we're under attack, but it doesn't tell you when a villager dies. Like that one.
Come to daddy!
Yeah, I thought that was it then. No, it doesn't tell you when a villager dies, which is a bit annoying, because then you need to find out what it was doing to begin with. So we're going to go ahead and train
On my way.
2 more hunters.
I stand ready. At once.
And which level have we got now? We've got 25, so we're halfway there. I might even go all out and just say produce leather, because it's so important
Ready for duty.
to get this running. Now, there's 2 ways that the needs will trigger. Either at a certain culture level, I do believe that the basic clothing will trigger at 200 culture, if I remember correctly. But the other way it can be triggered is if you build the actual resource building that it produces. So, for example, as soon as I build the Tailor's Emporium, the need for clothing is going to be active. So, got to bear that in mind. Looks like we haven't really got anything else. Oh, there we go. We've got some more leather. So we're very close to doing it. In fact, we've got it. We've got what we need. That's fine. Now we can go back to producing both.
At the ready.
Okay. How much money have we got? We've actually got a decent amount of money now. So we should probably focus on possibly getting some more. Let's see if we can do something with these. We could, because carrots aren't very... Increase the production of... That's just flour though. And that requires a higher building tier. God fucking damn it. What about stone actually? Stone does seem a bit slow. I mean, we could go ahead and actually train it up a stone cutter. Chisels will increase this production of stone blocks by 5. Set square exactly the same, or we can expand the boundary. We don't need to expand the boundary. Let's go ahead and do the chisel. So what will happen now is one of the workers inside the building will just focus on research rather than actually getting the stone. But once the research is completed, you'll then get the benefit of it. So there we go. And because obviously we did increase the taxes, it does mean we are getting a more steady income.
Awaiting your command.
So that's good. And now we're going up for the Tailor's Emporium, so let's go ahead and do that. So we've got 4 villagers left. I'm going to plonk it there. So we need 1
Really?
there. Actually, let's go for 2.
My pleasure.
And then we'll train one of the Weaver, not Weaver, Tailor. I'm getting my words mixed up, aren't I? But we're going to need, as you can see, we are going to need another cottage again soon because lack of villagers again. Yeah, world map isn't implemented yet, which is unfortunate. That's just the settings menu, as you can see. You can just adjust all that. But we haven't got anything else yet. We've got plenty of flour coming. We've actually got a lot of bread now. Jesus Christ, they're producing a hell of a lot of bread. Food is no longer a problem, although the variety of foods will be a problem until we can actually get a butcher. Speaking of which, can we actually build one? We can actually build a butcher now. That's not a bad idea, considering we probably will have a lot of meat coming by. So I'm going to make sure it's quite close to the hunting lodge. There we go. It's because of travel time and stuff, obviously. If it's closer to the places where the buildings need them, then it's not going to take as long to actually get the stuff done. All about planning. All about planning. And I'm usually quite bad at that. So that's good, isn't it? And there's our Tailor's Emporium. So there's now going to be a need for clothing, as you can see here. So there we go. I could have left it for a little while, especially considering we probably don't have any cotton properly yet. But we should be fine. So I'm not too worried about that yet. If anything, we can probably go ahead and increase the production of making by 1. That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do that. since we are going to need it. The next thing we need to worry about is beer. We need to make beer as soon as possible. But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and make that butcher. I think I've already made it, haven't I? Okay. So now it's a case of actually making another cottage. I haven't actually built a thingy yet, have I? The fishing goods. It's odd. I thought I did that already. Oh well. I thought I did. I thought I'd already done that. Obviously not. This is nearly built, and it's nearly built. Fantastic. Can't do nothing with it just yet though. What's my... Yeah, I've still got all three there. That's good. That's good indeed. That's a signpost, isn't it? Can I actually zoom in and read that? Sort of, not quite. Oh well. I just thought you could. Worthwhile trying, wasn't it? Worthwhile trying. How are we doing? So we are getting a good supply, a steady supply of stone now, which is good. Oh, what we low on? Clothing. No, enough basic clothing now. That's going to be a problem. I'm going to knock that down. Ooh, no, I can't knock that down much. Have you actually started making any clothes yet? Oh yeah, we're just getting the cotton now. So yeah, they're going to start making. He's going to start making clothes now. It might be a tad bit too late now though. So there is a negative effect if you keep if your happiness is bad, then if people really dislike you, they will actually leave your village. And that causes a hell of a lot of problems, especially when you don't even know which villager has actually left that's doing what job. It's a bit annoying. There we go, we've completed the cloth making research. That's fantastic. Unlock crafting recipes at the oh, we've actually unlocked crafting recipes too. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, we can now make cloth stuff. There we go. We can actually make bolts of silk from spider silk, which we haven't got yet because we haven't got any spiders. As you can tell, we've started making clothing. We've got a little bit coming in. What I would like to see, because it's very difficult to tell, is how much I'm making per minute, for example. I mean, I can... Oh, it does show you. I'm a dumbass. So yeah, we're actually producing 20 of these per minute. That's fine. That's fine. I was being dumb. That's producing production per work cycle. Okay, that's interesting. It's showing it a different way for some of the things. So this is going to be production per minute. Yeah, that's fine. One butcher, and then we'll have another food source. Jesus Christ, the bread's doing really well, isn't it? It's doing. I mean, it's doing really well. Crikey. I'm actually debating whether we should make another field and turn it into carrots. I think we should actually, since we've got plenty of flour coming in. We still seem to have a clothing problem, which is not good, especially considering we haven't even started our beer yet. Maybe I should train a second tailor. What's the cotton flow coming in? The cotton flow is actually quite low. With two weavers coming in, so that's a bit worrying. Huh. Oh, that might be why, because it's got to do both. So maybe a third worker might alleviate some of the workload. Theoretically. And maybe a second tailor to accommodate for that. Let's do that. And I'll also go ahead and make a third cotton field. We've got quite a lot of wood now at this point. I wonder if we can actually upgrade something. Can we upgrade the woodcutters?
The enemy is in our village.
Very close. Nowhere near, actually. Oh well, that's fine. We could possibly research some new tech though. Not quite. Once we get to 500, I'll research the iron one, I think. Are we still that low in clothing? Jesus
Our village
Christ.
has attracted new settlers.
So that's the this is actually the problem. This is actually what I was on about. It would be nice to see how much stuff is being consumed as well. I mean, it's all good having how much we're producing per minute and whatnot, but we can't exactly tell how much is being consumed. That would be a nice thing to have. I mean, there's not enough basic clothing still. There's plenty, and it's being produced plenty. Alright, so I think the next step is we've got four villagers left. We're going to make another cottage, and we're going to start on the beer making. I'm going to stick a cut in, and I'll see you next time.